Hi, everybody. My name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
And on this Camper Report Show, I'm talking to a couple who are in their 80s. They're full-time RVers. They have motorcycles, and they just sold their 40-foot sailboat. Slowing down is not part of their vocabulary. You're going to really enjoy this story.
Well, having just passed that 80th threshold, I'm going to look forward to seeing what they're up to because now I got to figure out what I'm going to do between 80 and 90. But I've got Chris Doherty, the RV PhD, who is also owns Doherty RV Consulting, and he's coming back from a trip to Elkhart where they have just outfitted an education and training trailer for the Pennsylvania RV and Camping Association that they're going to be doing a lot of hands-on training. It's an incredible project, and I think we're going to have Jim Lebonsky, who is also with PRVCA, but I know we got Chris, and I'm looking forward to that.
It'll be a great interview, I'm sure. Those are some of the stories that we're talking about, but there's so many other stories that we get from where, Bob?
RV Business with Rick Kessler and Campground Management Magazine with Ben Kriegel. Can't do it without them.
And we will be back with those stories plus more right here. Where, Mr. Zagami?
On the Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everyone. Hey there, RVers. We get it. Your insurance and warranty needs are as unique as your travel destinations. That's why RVer Insurance has teamed up with Wholesale Warranties to cover all the bases. From health insurance to RV coverage and warranties, we've got you sorted every step of the way. With a solid track record in providing top-notch health insurance and affordable RV insurance options, RV Insurance has you covered. And for those unexpected repair bills, look no further than our friends at Wholesale Warranties, leaders in reliable coverage and customer support. Start your RV protection journey today at rverinsurance.com or wholesalewarranties.com/RVerinsurance. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Camper Report Show. This is the news segment. My name's John DePietro. That man is Bob Zagami. And Bob, I'm looking at a story that emanates from Florida. Now, you're in Florida. I just spent 5 weeks in Florida. And it seems like every time I turned around during that time period, I saw some type of advertisement for a Florida RV show. So as it turns out, there were 5 of them in addition to the big one in Tampa back in January. And they're all over the state, from Fort Myers to Jacksonville to West Palm Beach to Ocala to Orlando. And you know what? They're making it easier than ever to find out what the latest RV offerings are, aren't they?
Yeah, the Florida RV and Travel Association does a tremendous job because Florida is so big and there are so many people down here. They do the regional shows in addition to the Tampa show. But the regional shows are also a very good barometer for the RV industry for this year because probably half the people are snowbirds or people that are down there on vacation who want to see the show. The other half are regular Florida residents. And
Right.
overall, when you take the 5 shows, they were all very positive, and the attendance was great. I mean, the Fort Myers show just moved to a new location this year. They had been at an old one. They went over to the Red Sox JetBlue Park,
The park.
and they had 6,700 people. Keep in mind, these are regional shows. These are not big shows. The Jacksonville show, which is in its 15th year, now Fort Myers is in its 39th year. Jacksonville in its 15th year had 7,700 people. West Palm Beach had 3,200 people, but they had some bad weather. I mean,
Yeah.
they had rain. This is interesting. They had rain all day Saturday and Sunday. It was an outdoor show, and they had 3,200 people, and the dealers reported great activity and sales. So did the vendors. So one of the things that improves, and I've said this for years, and I wish the whole industry would just jump on board for this, it is not the number of people that go to the show.
It's a
It's the
number of
activity and
serious.
do they buy? And one of the state chairman for that particular show said, it's not so much about how many come to the show, it's more about buyers attending the show. And we've seen that. We saw it in Boston earlier this year. We've seen it in others. And that's a great statement for the industry that we see across the country. So I still say it's going to be a great year. and they also did an Ocala show, which had a new location, and they had just under 8,000 people, and everybody on all five of these regional shows, and Dave Kelly, who's the executive director of FRVTA, said everyone he spoke to was happy with the results. And on that, and they did a new regional show in Orlando this year, and they decided to give free parking and admission because they hadn't had one up in that area for a while. They had great weather, 5,800 people the first time they had the event. So it's a real, I think it's a real indicator of what we're going to see in the RV industry. So they may see numbers down for the shows, but they're going to see the sales activity up. And there's a lot of pent up demand out there. And we still are in that kind of cycle where the manufacturers have aggressively reduced the suggested pricing on it. The dealers are aggressive in their financial plan. So the market conditions for buyers have not been this good in 10 years. And I'll keep saying that, but it validates everything that we've said so far about the marketplace.
Yep. Yep. And, once you've bought your RV, you can join an organization such as FMCA, which used to call itself the Family Motor Coach Association. Now they're getting off that motor coach thing and realizing that towables are 80% of the market. So they've invited towables in. But they've got a new program this year called a Pathfinder program, where they're allowing people to come to the convention and utilize the information that they have online in an enticement to join as members. And, we've seen a lot of the online membership organizations numbers dwindle depending upon what the organization is. But FMCA, I mean, they had 1,000 coaches registered for this convention that's taking place in Tucson this week as we speak.
It's going on right now. It's the 108th convention. I was excited about this particular announcement because it shows that they are trying to put new life into an old association. And it had been branded as, the people that were retired, and it was the motorhomes. And Chris Smith has worked really hard to start to change that dynamic. And it doesn't happen quickly because, very truthfully, the nature of the mature audience that they had, that was their show, that was their time. But they have revitalized it in a lot of cases. And I think one of the smart things they did, and it sounds so simple, years ago, if you didn't go to the convention, you could get a day pass, and it allowed you to tour the RV displays on the outside. Now, you have to understand that half those people probably aren't going to buy in and seeing it for the first time, but they were not allowed to go into the displays of the suppliers or any of the workshops. So now people can get a one-day free pass that gives them not only access to the RVs, but also the workshops and the suppliers, with the intention that if we show them other benefits of FMCA, they will join. And I think that's a tremendous move in the right direction, and promoting it that way. So they get one day at no cost, and they usually get, a couple of hundred sometimes display units there to see it. So I think they're going in the right direction. I like what I've seen here, and we'll get more information next week. It's going on right now at the Tucson, Arizona Pima County Fairgrounds, and they've got a couple of these fairgrounds that they use one up in Oregon, this one in Arizona, one in Perry, Georgia. They typically draw very well. Now they do draw regionally, far, but 1,000 coaches in the Arizona area right now. That's a good start for them. Yep.
Exactly. So one other thing is you've bought your RV, you've joined your organization such as FMCA or, several other ones like that. And then for some reason or another, you have to have it serviced or you're looking to buy a new one. And our friends at Blue Compass, who call themselves the fastest growing RV company in history, are having a huge national hiring event. And with that being said, it's taking place throughout the country this week, and not just sales, but service and management. Attention all RVers. Say goodbye to roof worries and hello to worry-free travel with RV Roof Magic. This revolutionary liquid butyl roof coating is specially formulated to protect your RV from the elements, to extend its lifespan and prevent leaks. With simple application and outstanding results, RV Roof Magic is the go-to choice for RV owners seeking superior roof protection. Don't let roof maintenance issues hold you back. RV Roof Magic is the only liquid butyl rubber in the world that offers a one-coat, no primer coverage and a 10-year warranty. Visit rvroofmagic.com/RVLife and extend your roof another 18 to 20 years.
All right, welcome back everybody to the Camper Report Show, and today we have Chris Doherty from Doherty RV Consulting, who's been with us before, and we have a newbie, James Lebronski from PRVCA. Chris, since you've been here before, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself, and then you do the introduction of James. How's that?
All right, that sounds good. So great to be with you again. And as you, with your great introduction, I'm Chris Doherty, and I do RV education and consulting in the industry for both technicians in the industry and consumers also. So I do seminars at shows. I write for various magazines. I also have an RVPhD.com project that I'm working on, which is technical information for RVers, which has been really good. Over here to my side is James Lebronski, and James is the director of
education director, yeah.
Education director for the Pennsylvania RV Camping Association. They put on the great Hershey RV show, so the largest camping show.com, and the largest camping show in the country.
Yep.
And I've worked with PRVCA for quite a while. Our friend Gary Bunzer worked with them. That's how I got to know them initially through the Hershey show, and now I do technical training for PRVCA.
Yeah,
That's fantastic. James, welcome to the program.
thank you.
I've always admired Heather Leach and PRVCA, and the leading edge technologies and programs that you bring to the marketplace, and certainly to your membership. One thing that caught my eye and recently was this new trailer, and we're going to put some graphics and some photographs overlaying the interview. But what was the genesis of it, and where are you with that particular program?
Well, the genesis of it actually started a couple of years ago. So I've been with the PRVCA now for almost 2 years. And shortly after I began my life with them, I was introduced to Chris as we were getting ready for our show. And he was doing a lot of our training and seminars at the show. And in discussion with him and RVTI, in order to put together a certification training program for my members. One of the things that the board of directors with the PRVCA had tasked me to do upon me getting hired was determine what kind of avenue we wanted to walk to make sure that we had a certification program for technicians for our members. And that led me to both Chris and RVTI. And it was pretty much putting that program together, getting that off the ground and getting it produced and getting it filled and getting classes filled. And once we start scheduling classes, realizing that having some type of RV just to do that training in and of itself would be helpful. However, investing in an RV to do that limited scope of training isn't something that it wasn't as cost effective, right? So Chris and I would have multiple conversations focusing on what else could we do with it? Because if all we were doing were level 1 RVTI level 1 certification classes, is that really using that kind of a vehicle to its fullest potential? And the answer was no. So that's where it kind of started, and the plans for where we're going to be moving forward with it, I think, is going to be well worth the investment.
We've been strong proponents of RVTI since Kurt Hemmler came on the scene. They do a tremendous job, not only representing the program, but the programs that they provide, the training that they provide to our dealers elevates the professionalism of the trade and the career opportunities. And we've seen that in just the last 4 or 5 years where the industry spent too much time saying, well, how can we hire more techs? How can we bring more people in? Instead of focusing on the career potential and the importance of having continuous training and education. How important is that to you in building out your PRVCA programs?
My members, one of the core or cornerstones of them wanting to have a certification program was to instill upon the technicians that they were employing that this is a fruitful career. This isn't just some job that you're going to do. Like we want to invest in you, and we want you to invest in your career. And this is one way to do that. So it's very nice partnering with RVTI because they have developed a progression within their education program that really empowers technicians to feel like they are moving forward in their career, right? They're not just wrenching on a unit for a little while and then to go do something else. This isn't a job. This is definitely a career focus and career building endeavor. So that's exactly why we wanted to partner with them and do this. So yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Well, Chris, from your standpoint, you spent a large majority of your career in the RV industry, and you've seen the evolution of the point at one point where our industry shunned mobile repair technicians, that they were off on the other side. And now we've got a situation where we're embracing them in this program. And we have a lot of mobile technicians, and you, of course, had your mobile RV service. So explain the importance of the independent mobile technician, both from your own career standpoint, but also the importance of them coming into the PRVCA program. And then maybe James can talk about what recruitment efforts you may have to attract these people.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first started as a mobile service, I was concentrated on one campground and primarily one dealership and one manufacturer. And I grew that throughout the Hudson Valley and eventually through the New England area. And so mobile service does a couple of things. First of all, our dealers have a hard time keeping up with the demand. You have only so many service bays, you have only so many technicians, and in some places it's hard to get new people in the door. So trying to train everybody, keep people there is really important. The other thing about mobile service is that there are times, because of the nature of RVing, right, and the nature of our product, that it's tough for an RV to get back to its original dealer or get back to the manufacturer or whoever for service. And whether it's broken down, it's set up as a seasonal unit, whatever the deal is. So there is a definite need for qualified mobile technicians and mobile service businesses, as well as independent shops. We've known a number of people around the country who have been very successful with just repair and parts operations. And so if they're qualified and are good at what they do, absolutely, we can use them, to help support the customers.
Yeah. James, what programs have you put in place? Because you're a much larger association, but what role does the independent mobile technician or the independent repair shop have in PRVCA today?
Well, I will say that we have quite a few members who either are themselves their own company or own business, and they come to us for training, for some professional training, or rather large. In fact, one of our most recent additions is a mobile technician service outside of Pennsylvania, but they employ I think last count close to 50 techs, 45 to 50 technicians.
50?
Yes. So they have a group of RP techs, and they pretty much will send them out to various campgrounds that they partner with. And yeah, so it's not just somebody that has a wealth of knowledge and says, I'm not going to go do my own. We're noticing that there are this is becoming a business in and of itself.
That's fantastic.
Mhm.
Speak a little bit, you mentioned outside of Pennsylvania, because you do some things that are a little different than some of the other state associations. Talk about how you either recruit outside that area or you allow people who find you through the internet or through contacts in the industry, how they can get involved with your program.
Sure. So the short version of that answer is that any entity who is a professional within the RV or campground world is welcome to be a member of the PRVCA. So that if you have any kind of association or have any kind of business dealings that relate to the RV industry or the campground industry, we welcome you. There are certain benefits that come with being a member, and there are certain things that our members are expressly looking for when they join. One of the big benefits of being a member of the PRVCA is you have an opportunity to participate in the show that we put together during the fall. So every year we put together a little show in Hershey, and a little show in Hershey.
Yeah.
And we have a couple of there are a couple of RVs out front. People
Yeah.
come get them, some pictures. It's a nice time. So that said, our members,
James, I've walked that field for many years.
yes. So that our members have the opportunity to participate in that, and that process is in and of itself one of the reasons why we get a lot of attraction, because people really enjoy participating in that show.
Yeah.
Outside of doing that, it would be to whatever other benefit might be of use to the individuals. So, for example, some of the out-of-state members that we have, although they are not going to be eligible to, let's say, rep a manufacturer's product to the show because of they don't have a brick and mortar within the state of Pennsylvania, but like I said, a lot of the education and training that we provide, they desire that. They want to have that for their staff, so they will join so that they can participate in that training. And that's something that really, I don't know how to say it, just makes me smile every time I hear that. We received a membership application from somebody out of state, and they put on there, we want to train our staff. Because then I know that having conversations with him, and conversations with all of our other partners, and especially my board and my education committee, who have dreamed about building something like this even before I got there, and said, "This is what we want you to do," and empowering me to do it. It's just, I get chills. Like, look, I'm getting like goosebumps just thinking about it. I love it. I just love what's going on with what and where we're headed. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also got a tremendous legacy, because Chris and I are old enough to remember when Gary Bunzer, God bless his soul, a great friend and mentor of ours, was teaching classes at the community college way back when, and he had similar vision. So, I may be a media guy, but I remember the contributions made, and Chris wouldn't be where he is today, and I wouldn't be where and PRVCA wouldn't have that type of a program without the contributions that Gary made through the years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're coming a little bit short on time, but I love these interviews because we could do them for 2 hours instead of 10 or 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Yesterday is Chris Doherty from Doherty Consulting and James Lebronsky from the PRVCA, heading up their education and training program. Any closing words for our fans, guys?
If you're in Hershey this fall, please stop by the show. We'd love to see you.
And we'll have the trailer there.
Yep, we'll have the trailer there. We'll have we'll even have some cookies. That'll be nice.
And you also have a great technical training program at the show. So talk about real quick, but close up on that one, Chris, because I know you've been doing it the last few years, but talk about the importance of those programs and the technicians that flood into Hershey for those events.
So absolutely. So one of the things about the PRVCA in Hershey is education. That's one of the cornerstones of what the PRVCA is there for. So as part of the Hershey show, we start the week out with technical training for technicians by a number of different vendors and instructors, myself included, where we cover a lot of different topics, including, and some of the topics are available, I believe will be available for RVTI credit. Our friend Mike Sokol does RV electricity courses there, which is fantastic. And like I said, we have a number of vendors there.
Mhm.
And then we go into the consumer days where Mike and I and a number of other people will be doing seminars all week long, every day, on various topics of import to consumers. So,
Mhm.
And a
we
lot of those topics are topics that are trained to the technicians also, but we all believe that an educated consumer that can do some of this work themselves is just as important to the industry.
Yeah, and the better a consumer is, a customer is with their RV, I believe the happier they're going to be. I've had that experience myself as an RVer as well as a technician, in that, you can be somewhere if you run into a problem and you can fix it yourself. You're not only saving money, but you're also saving time and continuing your trip, while you're out there. So sometimes that's a
And
big benefit.
RVers are such nice people. When they go down the highway and they see somebody broken down, they stop to help them out. So they may have that training that they got in that classroom and get that person on the road, and we have a happy camper and they stay in the lifestyle for a long time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys. James, welcome to the show. Don't be a stranger. And I will see you in September.
Outstanding.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you much.
Thanks.
One of the coolest things about RVing is you run into the most interesting people. Some call them characters, and a lot of people thought they were retired, but the captain and Tennille are here with us at folks. Let's have a round of applause for the captain and Tennille. They're going to be there.
Thank you very much, John.
Entertainment tonight.
We don't need that.
Ed and Daisy, you guys have one of the vintage RVs here, but you've got all the new technology. You've got the satellite dish, you've got the Starlink, but in our conversation, you told me that this is not your only rodeo, but you've had a big, long, a 40-foot boat?
Yes.
Okay, give me a better answer than just yes.
Yeah.
Tell me
We
more
had a
about it.
44-foot boat, and we sailed it from San Francisco to the Florida Keys to the canal, just the two of us. So we like adventure. But we sold the boat, sold the house on the water in the Keys, and now we live in Port St. Lucie, where we keep our Winnebago 23-foot RV, which was stolen from its location, storage location, with cameras and badges, and it was recovered by the police 5 weeks later in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, okay.
The guy who stole it was living in it, loved it, and there
Loved
was
it. Didn't want to give it. Didn't want to give it back.
and
right?
protected it and didn't destroy it. And Geico put it on a flatbed truck and delivered it right to our front door. And we almost thought we never going to see it again, but there it was, and it was as good as new. So we were very lucky.
Okay, and you also had a couple motorcycles.
Oh yes,
One for each of you.
No. She goes behind me in
Okay.
my touring motorcycle, the racing motorcycle. She doesn't want any part of.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, what? Is one like a Honda Goldwing? One of those?
Well, it's a Suzuki DL 1000, which is an on-road, off-road. You can go to Alaska in that one, and then the Yamaha R6 is a racing motorcycle for the track.
Okay, and you race on a track.
I went to track days. You don't race, you go around and practice and go at 140 miles an hour, just kind of practicing and that kind of thing. That's what I did.
Okay.
And all the kids would pass me by. I was going 130, they were going 150.
Okay, and you're 61 years old now, right?
I am 80.
You're 80 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't tell that to anybody. We
Don't-
keep that quiet.
Keep that quiet, even though he just yelled out that he's 80.
Yeah, well, you know.
Okay, so you come to an event like this. What do you get out of these things? Because everybody's got the same motorhome. They're all kind of like-minded people.
Well, they're old
you like
friends
these
that
events?
we meet again every year, and then we meet some new people, and some of them are new and don't know much, and we can try to help them as best we can, give them suggestions and, some ideas of what they might be able to do with these rigs. It's a wonderful exchange, and we do it once a year, and it's great.
This is the one you come to every year?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, and how many years you been coming to this one?
Well, it started in Grayton Beach, Florida,
Okay.
probably about 15 years ago, and it's evolved over time. And over the last 4 years, it's been coming to Red Oaks here in Bushnell, Florida.
Okay, and you come up and you've got your what? Not MTV. What do you call it? Your dish? Your dish
Yeah, with
network?
DirecTV,
DirecTV.
Dish, and we also have the fast internet
The
Starlink, which actually, if you have that and it's working, you don't need any dish anymore, because you can get all the stuff you ever want. If if you have internet, you can get all the television programs, you can get all the documentaries, Netflix, the news, the weather. So we have it kind of as a backup, but we don't use it that much anymore.
Okay. But you meet new friends and you say hello to old friends.
Exactly. That's the main purpose.
And well, would you encourage other people to come to, even if they might not have a viewer in Avion, but they say they might have another brand?
Well, if it's
something
the
to it, right?
same type, the same size,
Yeah.
okay, it's fine. And another thing that we do when we get together is we trade all the improvements we've made.
Yeah.
People have ideas and they're original about what they improve, so we exchange that kind of information.
Yep. And the technology obviously changes every year between.
Very fast.
You said yours was an 06 or 7?
07.
07, okay, which was one of the first.
The
or
second year that it came out.
Okay,
yes.
now that we've got a 25 that you're going to look at today.
Only look at it because our RV cost a lot less
Yeah.
than the new ones, and we're very happy with the one we have.
Yeah, and you've got again all the technology, and
Yeah.
it's made it to Vegas and back, and
Oh
everything
yeah,
else.
well, it's made it to a lot more. It's been in California. It's been in the Canadian Maritimes, Nova Scotia.
So you're 80-year-old. You're not slowing down,
No way.
and Dolly, you're 41 or 42. So he's stolen you
My
from
young bride.
Yeah.
77.
77.
And we have been married for almost 60 years now.
Almost 60
And
years.
she has an identical twin, and I have to be very careful.
Uh-oh.
No.
So basically what it boiled down to is, Daisy, you said you weren't going to talk, but you spoke.
Absolutely.
See, it's so easy. It's so easy. So we want to thank you so much for spending time with us. And
It's a pleasure.
Would you agree RVing is every age group, every demographic, every socioeconomic background, right?
It makes you free and allows you to roam wherever you want to go and find your adventures wherever they happen to be.
When you leave here, what are you doing? Where are you heading?
Well, no, we're going back home in Port St. Lucie. We have other activities planned, but we'll be spending the summer in North Carolina and the mountains there. And we'll
Out to western North
we
Carolina?
tow a little Honda Fit car behind for all the exploration, and we just have a ball.
Great. Ed and Daisy, thank you so much for spending time with us. Have a great day.
All right.
You're welcome.